Hey everybody, Neil here, DoubleF Outdoors. We're back again. Second video, got some really good response on the first one. We're getting this thing rocking and rolling. First, as we start the video, I'm gonna put some links in the description. Follow my Facebook and go check me out on Instagram. Follow me there. I'll have all the info when new videos are up. I'll have some sweet pictures that I get taken. Anytime that we'll have some fishing going on, we'll put that there. When we have giveaways in the future, I'll talk about that near the end of the video. We'll also put that info on there. Same with my Facebook, check it out. Also, right now, subscribe to the channel. It's the red box below. It says subscribe. Click it. You gotta make sure that bell turns to gray or the notifications are on so you know when I post another video so you can be the first people to see our new videos. So, today, this is about a couple days after we shot the first video. So, the weather's still kind of iffy. Still haven't done any fishing since the last video, but good news, tomorrow here in the Midwest, it's gonna be like 50s. Like really nice weather. We're gonna try to go out and fish a little bit. It's gonna be kind of dreary, some rain, maybe some lightning. So we're gonna try to hit kind of the points between all that, see if we can't get maybe one or two of these fish to bite. Maybe hit them in the head with a worm or something. We'll just fish it real slow along the shore, see if we can't get something to bite. But today's video, I wanna go over all of my tackle. And so as we are getting our gear set up, I'm still kind of figuring out my GoPro and how that's gonna look. We'll have hopefully some camera footage of me fishing tomorrow. But over the next couple weeks as I get that set up and we get that all ready and rocking to roll for the real warm season as we get started, we're gonna first go over all my tackle today and then we will hit each one individually. I'll really just talk and give some pointers on each individual thing. But let's get started. I have a lot of gear, that's okay. Well, in another future video, we'll go over my rods and reels and all that fun stuff. But today we're gonna go over tackle. So, first thing we're gonna look at, my favorite bait. It is the hollow body frog, actually any kind of frog really. We'll show you what I got in here. So my go-to frog of choice is the Booyah Pad Crasher. So this is that bad boy right here, the Booyah Pad Crasher. I absolutely love this bait. Beautiful color. This is the color I get a lot of them to hit out here. Basically, this is the most realistic kind of color. A lot of our frogs around here are real dark colored. So I get this kind of dark top with an underbelly, light underbelly. But this is my go-to bait. I love this. I've caught my PB on this. Just a wonderful frog. One of the tips I will give real quick on the frog, something I've learned is, a tip I've picked up is when you get these frogs fresh out of the box, the legs are like super long, and a lot of times the bass will hit the back of the legs and they'll actually miss the bait completely. You won't hook them. So something I do is I pinch them together and I flip them up, and right there about the eyelet I chop off any extra legs. So it kind of shortens it up, gives them a tighter target, kind of a smaller target, allows you to get a little better hookup ratios, stuff like that. I got a couple different colors in here. I've also got the Booyah Toad Runner, kind of like a whopper plopper on the back of the frog. It's kind of a new bait I've kind of been experimenting with. Makes a really nice noise, easy to kind of fish the lily pads with and stuff like that. Then this is the new addition, just got this a week or two ago. This is the Live Target hollow body frog. Super excited about this. Heard a lot of good things about Live Target, so we're super pumped to try this out. That's gonna be a lot of fun. As you can see, very similar to the Pad Crasher in color. So definitely gonna try that out, super excited. So those are my hollow body frogs. I got a box of those. All right, next box. This is kind of my like assortment box. Mainly it's top water baits though. So we got like we're gonna look in here. We got an old fashioned jitterbug. I don't know how many of you guys fished this. This is one of the first baits I ever owned. My dad got me this when I was real little. Taught me how to fish. It's just a retrieve, it floats. Had good memories of fishing that. But I've also got here, I've just got my typical poppers, my poppers. I've also got some KVD jerk baits. This is one of the better colors. A lot of jerk bait fishing. I love throwing jerk baits into the bait fish and really get the bass to hit off of the bait fish. And then the clutch bait, this is also one of my other favorites, is a head and spook. I don't know how many people have fished with a head and spook. It's a lot of fun. You walk it on top of the water, gives a nice little retrieval. I do a twitch and pause retrieval, which is I just twitch it a few times, get it to walk, and then I stop. A lot of times I get to hit off that pause, the fish hits off that pause. So that's my top water box. Then in this box, we've got our spinner baits and buzz baits. So I've got a couple different colors. My go-to buzz baits, this Strike King Buzz, just the normal chartreuse, green color, yellow color, whatever you want to call it. And then I've got chatterbaits in here as well. I like this color of chatterbait. Put like a white trailer with it, get a lot of good bass. This is a good springtime bait. Get some good hits off that. And then obviously one of the best springtime go-to is a spinner bait. I've got a couple different colors in here. I've got some white, some chartreuse. I also go Strike King for my spinner baits. Just the brand I've always used, the brand I've always liked. So we got that box in here. I also use a trailer on my spinner baits quite a bit. Normally if it's a chartreuse with white, I normally use a white trailer and so on and so forth. And in this last box, we got my crankbaits. So I use a lot of different style of crankbaits. I use lipped crankbaits, I use lipless, but my go-to for sure is the Red Eye Shad by Strike King. So this is the Red Eye Shad. This is the color that I really, really like. We talked about this on the last video, having the bright red color. Really liking that chartreuse color of that crankbait we talked about in Mr. Tackle Box. So this is my go-to though, this really kind of dark red color with the black. Get a lot of bass to hit this out at Sancris. This is just a great bait, allows you to fish multiple depths of water. Really good in the springtime as well. We got some deep diving Strike King crankbaits. I got some minnow shaped crankbaits. So this is my crankbait box. A couple shell. I got a lot of options, but I really love the lipless crankbait. Like I said, it allows me to fish multiple depths of water. Something I do like to do, and I'll talk about this real quick, is this is just a normal Strike King crankbait. You see, it's a build crankbait. And something I like to do, and this is something I picked up from watching my dad fish, and something I've really had success with, is as you know, crankbaits float until you start cranking them. So something my dad and I have done is almost fish them like a jerk bait, but it's a crankbait. You just jerk that thing once or twice and it dives down really hard, almost like an injured bait fish. A lot of times you get the fish to hit them on that drop, or as they're floating back, the top bass will come up and hit them real hard. So that's something we like to do, a little bit of change of pace, especially deeper water. We'll crank it down a few times and then we'll hit it like with that jerking action. We get a lot of bites like that. So those are my hard baits. Like I said in the last video, about, I don't know, 30-35% of my fishing, I go through all these grass beds with my frog, and then I come back, hit them with a jig, a worm, a plastic soft bait of some kind. I do a lot of plastic fishing. Really like to slow it down and really just kind of fish the areas until I know I'm not getting any bites. So those are my hard baits. Let's move on to my soft plastics. We're going to start, this is my soft plastics bag down here. We're just going to start, in this box, it's kind of a mess. We're not going to look in this. This is just my hooks, my weights, my jig heads, stuff like that. I use anything from a 3 to a 5/0 hook, just the straight hooks or even the wide gap hooks. I've had success with all of them. I use different style weights, and really the only reason I change a weight is just like if I know for sure those bass are really on the bottom, I'll just put a heavier weight to get it down there faster. That's really the only reason I would ever change weights. Normally use like a 1/8 to a 3/16 ounce, all the way even maybe to a 1/4 of an ounce. Normally that 1/8 to 3/16 is kind of my range. But those are the hooks and the weights I use. So we have those in the top, and then to flip it, we'll go over my favorite bait. This is the Yum Dinger. So I think I talked in the last video how I'm a big Cinco fisherman. Something that I changed to a few years ago is that bigger style of worm, kind of that thicker style of worm. I don't know how many of you use like a Berkeley Power Worm. My dad uses those all the time. That's his worm of choice. The Cinco or the Dinger is kind of a bigger style, and I just started using them all the time, whether I was fishing them wacky, T-rigged, or weightless. And so I've got several different colors, but this is the color I have the most success with. So this is the Yum Dinger watermelon red color, and I use this thing year-round. This is the bait of choice for me. Like I said, T-rig, wacky style, Cinco style, which is just a weightless worm. This is the one I go to, and I love it. It's a 5-inch worm. I use the 5-inch dingers. I do have some Gary Yamamoto's in here, but I definitely go for those Yum Dingers. I think they're just as good as the Cincos by Gary Yamamoto. I get just as many hits, just as many bites. I've got multiple colors in here, several different colors, but that watermelon red's my go-to. And so that's my worm of choice. Go through a lot of these every year. Definitely a good one to go through. And then my other big ones that I fish with, my other main baits in this box are my creature baits. So I've got lizards, baby brush hogs. I've got Christie critters. I don't know if anybody know that. That's a Yum bait as well. And also the lizards are Zoom lizards, so are the baby brush hogs, but the Christie critters and those are by Yum. I really believe in Yum. Yum's a great company. If you have not used any Yum baits, please try them out. They're great baits. They hold up just as well as anything else. Catch a lot of fish on them. And also very well priced. Very, very well priced. So like I said, just a typical lizard. And something I'll do, it's in my tackle box. I'm not going to grab it today. I use Spike It. I don't know if any of you know what Spike It is. It's a company. They make a dye that is garlic scented. And what I like to do on this spawn is I'll take that dye, and I'll dip the tip of the tail in it so it gives it kind of a chartreuse tail right on the bottom. This is also a watermelon red color, just like the worms. And what I like to do during the spawn and pre-spawn is when those fish are making their beds up along the shore, I'll throw that lizard in there, drop them in those beds. You'll get those bass to hit them a lot because they're protecting their beds. This is a really good springtime bait. I get bites on this year round, but definitely use it in the spring. Like I talked about, we got the brush hogs in here, the Christie critters. I'll pull out one of the Christie critters because I got to give a shout out to my company, Yum. This is a Christie critter, kind of basically Yum's version of a baby brush hog. So really like this bait. You have to break off the appendages, but really love this bait. Really super excited about this one. This is gonna be a lot of fun. So those are my soft plastics there. I got a couple others I'm gonna talk about. A brand that I have kind of dabbled with the few times I've gotten to go so far this year that I'm super excited about is the Googan bait. And I know a lot of people have different comments about these. I know a lot of people have different opinions, but basically everything I've heard, everything I've read, everything I've watched, and even from my own experience, these things get fish. So super excited for these. This is the Bandito bug. I actually picked up some Kraken craws as well. And I actually picked up the giant Mondo worm. So I have a couple Googan baits, super excited about these as well. Like I said, I love fishing plastics. It is one of my go-tos. Some of the other things, I'll show you these. Like I said, bought these today. Yum baits. Like I said, if you have not used Yum, you need to try them. The Christie craw. This is one of their version of the crawdad. Once again, this watermelon red color I'm telling you about. This is the thing. I love these baits. They make great baits. Like I said, they hold up, they catch fish. I am in love with Yum baits. So definitely use these. And I got a couple other plastics we're going to talk about real quick. I have some finesse worms. I use Zoom finesse worms, just real short ones. I do like to put like a little, like a split shot weight just to add a little weight. They're kind of hard to throw weightless. They're really light. Use these a lot for some finesse fishing. And then we talked about these in the last video. We talked about the fluke, the good old fluke. So I use flukes. I'm going to use flukes quite a bit this year. Like I said, rigging them T-style, jerking them like a jerk bait. I got the shad color, and I've also got some white, the normal white zooms. Something else that I like to use these for that I've used them in the past. These make great spinner baits or chatterbait trailers. So we use these kind of in a variety of ways. It's kind of my like utility bait. I like to use them a lot of different ways. You'll see me throwing these or using these quite a bit. We got some more Christie critters in here in the bag. Show you the bag here real quick. Once again, Yum baits right there. Christie critter. Love the Christie critters. This is something else I'm super excited about. So I talked about in the last video about Walmart and buying some stuff from Walmart. Something you all need to check out. Walmart has a great selection normally of Yum baits, but something else they have these awesome fishing kits. They have this kit, it's called the Craw Bug Kit, and basically all a craw bug is, and it comes in this little tackle box and everything. Once again, Yum baits. Can't say enough about Yum baits. But this craw bug kit is pretty awesome. So basically what a craw bug is it's just a little crawdad. Just kind of a little crawdad. A lot of guys use them as jig trailers. A lot of guys rig them on jig heads, just as themselves. Another thing, a lot of people just T-rig these things, and these things are awesome. And this kit's awesome though. It comes with multiple colors. I'm gonna try to hold this up as best I can without everything falling out. Comes with multiple colors. And the other cool thing it comes with jig heads already in it. And I think I got this for like $8 or $9 or something like that. So, and they have multiple ones to choose from. I just went a while ago and I almost got it and I didn't because I already have way too many Yum dingers. But they have a nice kit with you. Some Yum dingers. They have a few lizards because they make lizards and a few Christie critters and stuff in there. So for $10, great value. Maybe if you're a first-time fisherman, that's what I would recommend for a lot of people. Great value. They have a lot of stuff there. And like I said, they come with a nice little tackle box as well. So once again, thanks guys for tuning in. I know I threw a lot of stuff at you. I just want to give kind of an overview of stuff I throw, an overview of my tackle. Like I said, over the next couple weeks, the weather's still kind of dreary. While it's going to be in the 50s tomorrow, by next Wednesday, it's already going to be back down like in the 30s. So over the next couple weeks, we're really going to be hitting kind of each section of my tackle individually until it really warms up where we can be fishing. Like I said, going to try to get some footage for you guys tomorrow while I fish. Once again, still trying to figure out my GoPro, figure out how I'm going to capture that footage. We're going to bring the camera out, try to get some footage of me fishing tomorrow. See what we can do. Maybe we'll get a couple, maybe try out maybe the Mondo worm or something like that. Definitely going to be fishing with a Yum dinger. I got plenty of them to use, plenty of colors to choose from. Real quick, just a few things. First of all, we have a giveaway in the works. So stay tuned to find out about the giveaway. So in order to do that, you gotta hit the subscribe button below. Hit that red button, hit that bell notification so you're updated, and follow us on social media. I'll add the links below. We're on Facebook, we're on Instagram. Super excited to be going. We really want you guys to follow so you can stay updated. We'll announce stuff then when new videos are dropping, stuff like that, post pictures, post giveaway stuff. Super excited. Leave a comment below what your favorite bait is. Let me know what you think about my selection, maybe something that you and I both have in common that we like to throw. Let me know, I wanna hear from you guys. Show us some love, like this video as well, but don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell. Follow us on social media. We'll start hitting up some of this tackle, we'll start hitting the water, and that's it. We'll see you guys next time. Peace.